Welcome back to She Means Business. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Joe Crawford Boyle, Chief Marketing Officer of Bang & Olufsen, the global luxury audio brand redefining design and sound. Joe's career has taken her from the fashion world of Mr. Porter and Ralph Lauren in London to leadership in Pandora and now Bang & Olufsen in Copenhagen. She's mastered the art of building iconic brands through creativity and customer connection. And today we're going to talk leadership, balance, bold decision, and of course, the fun little indulgences that make life sing. Welcome, Joe. So, you know, great
Thanks.
to have you here. Far along in your second pregnancy. So,
Yes.
congratulations to that. Yes.
Thank you very much. Very far along.
But let's start with a little bit of business first, and that is Bang& Olufsen is known for its innovation, its elegance, and timeless design. How do you translate that DNA into your marketing strategy and while keeping the brand culturally relevant?
Love that you just went straight in there, Lynn. Thank you. But yeah,
She
good
means
question.
business, Joe.
Exactly, she does. Very good question. It's really key. It's an important part for us. We need to make sure that we stay true to what's culturally relevant for us. I think it's very easy, especially in this day and age, to chase what's new, to chase what's out there. We're turning 100 very, very soon in about 8 weeks' time. And we've been around for 100 years. And the reason we've been around for 100 years is our design is classic. It is timeless. So we really need to honor that. And then we can tap into culture where relevant, but it's all about staying true to who we are.
Yeah, and I mean, I would imagine that's a hard job with, 100 years of tradition and
Yeah.
then this fresh face. And I say, strong, powerful woman steps in. How has that been? Have you met any resistance?
No. I think actually I was very lucky. I came in at a time where the business was really ready to embrace change. I think if anything, they were waiting for it. So everything so far has been amazing. Everyone's very receptive. And I think the first thing that I did was really spent some time in the archives. We're so lucky. We have an amazing history with Stur, which is based in Denmark. We have a museum full of old products. We have old product catalogs. We've really done an amazing job of keeping everything kind of throughout the years. So what we've done is always been actually more resurfacing heritage. If anything, the brand had kind of lost its way, and I'm taking it back. So
Hmm.
far, no resistance.
It's a pretty male-dominated industry. Do you feel a little lonely at the top? And what unique perspectives do you bring as a woman?
I think in the history it has been. I'm quite lucky at the top. Our GLT is relatively well balanced. I have two other amazing female leaders with me, so I don't feel too lonely at the top. Changing the mindset is new. Looking at who our customer is, especially being such a design-focused audio brand, our customer is female, and we have opportunity within female customers. So it's quite helpful sometimes to bring that perspective to say, there's a way of doing this, and we can see more and more through our amazing insights team that actually the female is making a lot of the decisions. The guy's doing the research, he's into the sound, he's done everything, and she's going, it looks good, you can bring it home, which is great for us.
So, what changes have you had to make or in the process of making, because I know it's relatively a new position for you, to cater to that female audience? What are they buying? What are they looking for?
Yeah, exactly. It varies across the three product categories. So we have our on the go, our flex, and our staged. And staged is still very predominantly driven by the male perspective, but certainly through the on the go product, it's been tapping into different audience groups. So we've just done a collaboration with Copenhagen Fashion Week, which was again a nice nod to home and something that we can tap into through sustainability, through who we are, but also an opportunity to speak to editors of Vogue. We had Harper's Bazaar there, we had Vanity Fair there, we also had some female buyers, and really getting them to look at it and go, this is amazing. We would have this, we would buy this. So we've been trying to tap into those new audiences, and then through our brand campaign, you're going to see something that's a little bit, I don't want to give too much away, but it's a little bit different and definitely speaks to that female audience a little bit more as well, without alienating our core.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. We started out with you're expecting your second. And, I just want to say that you haven't even hit 40 yet, and you're a CMO and you're about to have another baby. That's a lot. How are you managing to run this business, as you know, run this, top marketing job with a big global brand and master being a mom at the same time?
Yeah, I think it's about being choiceful. First off, I'm incredibly lucky. My husband is a stay-at-home dad, which is fantastic, and I never ever take it for granted. It does make my life so much easier. You have to go on a last-minute trip. You have to jump on a call in the evening. You're not trying to juggle too much. He's around and he's super supportive. But it's also about being choiceful and really kind of going, do I need to be on that trip? What's the outcome of it? Where do I want to put my focus? And I think the word balance sometimes gets really overused, and maybe I prefer choiceful on prioritizing and constantly reassessing. Definitely having two is going to throw that into the mix even further.
Well, listen, we know that you've been with some big luxury brands before. Um, is this different? And now that you're a mother and you started this job as a mother,
Yeah.
has it shaped your leadership style or your approach to creative problem solving?
Definitely, definitely. I think the biggest change for me, and I always kind of joke about it, is my son really taught me patience. From the get-go, I mean, he was 2 weeks late. So,
Mine too.
yeah,
They're
there you go.
stubborn. It's a sign,
Yeah,
Joe.
exactly. So I'm a lot more patient. And I think when I say as well about being choiceful, that's taught me patience as well. So I'm a bit calmer, a bit more patient. Other than that, I don't feel I've changed too much. And the people that know me well actually say the same. They're like, you've not really changed too much. So it's kind of a bit of a balance, but definitely more patience.
Well, it's nice to have someone, to have a partner who's at that's got your back at home. It makes a really big difference. I'm sure the audience can't help but notice that you have a Scottish accent, but you are living in Copenhagen. How long did it take for you to make the cultural shift? And what are the pros and cons of living and raising a family there?
So I've been here for 5.5 years now. I think the culture shift took maybe a year, because it was quite significant. I came from London where I felt I was really good at adapting to different cultures, and I've lived in that melting pot, but it's very different going from a melting pot to someone else's culture, which I did underestimate at the start. The Danish culture has so many pros, especially for being a mum. It's very open, it's very accepting. Loads of dads pitch in here. It's a very 50-50 society. And with paternity leave, most dads will take 3 to 6 months. So again, you feel that kind of balance. And I think it's quite nice. My husband as well, he doesn't feel like he's the only dad on the playground. You see more dads pushing prams sometimes than mums. But I think the respect for kids, the respect for it's 3 o'clock, I'm doing the pickup,
Mm.
is it's just there, and it's not a big deal, and it's not something you feel uncomfortable about. It makes it much much easier.
So achieving more balance,
Yeah,
essentially, is what you're saying, is easier.
I think it's balance and it's flexibility, because don't get me wrong, people go to that pickup but then they'll log on at night. They'll find the time to get stuff done, but there's a very open and trusting culture here where it's like, we're not going to baby you. We're not going to tell you when you need to be in the office. We're not going to tell you how to run your day. We trust you.
Mm.
Crack on. And it gives everybody that freedom without any guilt or any, I don't know, worry that it's going to impact your career.
I think you are probably a Gen Z, and
No, I'm millennial.
are
I'm
you
not.
a millennial? I keep
Yeah.
going, what's the difference? Because are you on the cusp? I keep going,
I can't remember when Gen Z starts. I think it's the early 90s.
so
And
okay, so
I believe
your work, you've got a serious work ethic. Not that Gen Zs don't, but their sense of lifestyle and balance is a
more
bit
on the old school. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, more on the old school. So, the boundaries. Let's just talk about boundaries a little bit and the non-negotiables. Do you set and protect both your role as a mother and as an executive?
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to think of the hard and fast rules I've set myself. I won't do more than 4 nights away,
Mhm.
and I've managed to do that so far in the first year, which is just a personal boundary I've set myself. I'm much more efficient when I go on these work trips now. I pad a lot more in, whereas you used to kind of, especially if it was New York, I was like, oh, I'll fly out on a Saturday and then I'll have a couple of days in New York. Now I'm like, no, I'm in. What's the meetings? And then I'm back out. And then when I'm off the clock, I'm off as much as physically possible. I really do try, and I've always kept two phones, um,
Oh,
and it's it's deliberate. If I'm out with my son, the work phone doesn't come, and those times I really try and protect.
what's the boldest marketing decision that you've made that you think truly moved the needle for the brand?
That's a very good question. I think we're in the process of it, so let's see how it turns out. But we're really moving away from tech specs, being a audio electronic company
Mm.
uh, at Bang& Olufsen. That's been the core DNA of that company, and it's incredibly important. But we are a brand, and we are a luxury brand, and people think of us as a luxury brand. So we need to play into that space. And before I joined, our CEO and our GLT have set a really strong structure and strategy in place. And that was the piece that was missing, pivoting us into that world. And it's definitely uncomfortable. And there's definitely daily conversations of, are we getting that through? Are we making sure that the noise cancelling message is coming through? Are we making sure this is coming through? And really trying to protect that is new for everybody, I think.
So when we look back, if we think about Ralph Lauren or Pandora, your most
Yeah.
recent, were there things there that you just went, that's a bullseye?
It's a good question. I think at Pandora, modernizing a lot of the work there. Pandora had been in a little bit again of I seem to always join companies at a transition. That seems to be my sort of secret sauce.
Mm.
Pandora had been going through that, but they hadn't really modernized. They hadn't changed anything they were doing in the digital space. We had an amazing team in the back end. They'd been building all the foundations. So it was quite lucky when I came in, but we made a huge shift in terms of what we did with social, in terms of what we did with influencers. We re-platformed CRM, but then we re-platformed the e-com, and that was a bullseye. The team took it over the line. I can't take full credit, but that's definitely something I look back on and go, we nailed that. It's night and day.
Fantastic. All right, well, I'm just going to be a little bit extra nosy now. So if we looked at your bank account, what would we find out about you?
Um, my husband would definitely say nothing good. Uh, for sure. I prioritize convenience. So you'll definitely find our version of delivery here is Wolt. You'll see that a lot. Um, I do not go to the supermarket, and then probably net a porter. So not it's not a super healthy, attractive looking bank account now. It's busy.
Yeah, but it's all about convenience, isn't it?
Exactly. That's what I mean about being choiceful. It's like, do I want to come in at night and then go to the supermarket, or I don't know. No, I don't.
Yeah, okay, well, you know what? When you know, you know. And I think
Exactly.
it's good to be clear about it and just be practical about it. So
Yeah.
good for you. So what's the most extravagant purchase you've made and it really made you feel like, yeah, I deserved that. I earned it.
Um, one of the ones that I did kind of get was my first roll bag. I got the banana a couple of years ago, and I remember that arriving, and I was like, "That's good." That's the most I'd ever spent in a handbag, and I was like, "That's good." No, I'm happy with that, and I do like my handbags, so probably
Ah,
that.
yeah, I'm a shoe and handbag girl, so I can get down with that for
Yeah,
sure.
there you go.
It's a little embarrassing, but
That's the thing. It feels a bit cliche. It's like it's a handbag, but I'm not into cars. Not really bought any extravagant jewelry in my life. So yeah, handbags is definitely where you see my money.
fair enough. So, what would you say is your guilty pleasure, or maybe even a song that you would blast? on your B&O speakers at home?
I definitely am a bit of a Swiftie. So Taylor Swift gets played never, only when I'm home alone, has been the rule. But yeah, love a bit of that, or I don't know. I love the Smiths. I'm very like extreme in terms of that kind of things. So yeah, they're probably my two that if you're going to walk in and find me my own, that's going to be playing.
Yeah. Look, why Swifties are so funny. They're either like, I'm totally a Swiftie, or they're like, I'm a closet Swiftie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I'm a Swiftie. Yeah.
You know what? She's a really powerful woman, so
Exactly.
I'm gonna definitely give it up to her. How do you stay ahead of the cultural shifts and the consumer expectations in the era where technology and design are evolving at literally lightning speed?
I think the biggest thing that you need to do is really stay curious. Like, listen to your team. I have amazing people in my team. I have very young people in my team, but also people around about my age. They're on this stuff all the time. They know their channels, they know their areas, and you have to listen and say, okay, what's going on? What's happening? I also spend a lot of time on YouTube. Um, I would say YouTube's probably the most thing that we watch in the home actually, which is
Really?
yeah, it's probably also been an expat as well. You're a bit more limited on your television options, but we love YouTube.
So what's on YouTube? People I've heard people say that too, and I actually understand that YouTube is like this big thing, but I'm not quite getting it yet.
Oh, okay. You would love it if you. I think the good thing is the algorithm learns what you're into. So I get a lot of really really good stuff on marketing in particular. Actually, System One have got a really good podcast that they put out on YouTube. You see a lot of Mark Ritson, you see a lot of Rory Sutherland, Scott Galloway's on there a lot. Then you've got Diary of the CEO, obviously.
Yeah.
And then on the more fun side, I do love vlogs. Copenhagen's a city people come to all the time. So there's always new content on that. Yeah, I don't know. There's always something. And then my husband, he's just watching football stuff on it. He's in
Yes,
he's in his world.
of course, and that's what he's probably missing. One of the things that he's missing, not being, back home. Um,
Yeah.
what advice would you give ambitious women who want to rise to the C-suite like you, but worry about the sacrifices, especially when it comes to family?
Yeah. I think I can't remember where it's from. Don't worry about it until it's happened. Do you know what I mean? So many women hold themselves back on what if? What if I can't do this? What you'll know when you know. So I think really run into it, but always just keep your eyes open, keep yourself really self-aware so that you can keep check on, is this getting a bit too much? Have I let myself slip out of balance? And then you readjust as you go. But if you let that hold you back, you're never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, true that. And finally, Joe, what is the soundtrack? I think this is actually kind of the hardest question. What is the soundtrack of your life right now? The song that sums up where you are as a leader and a mother.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What a question. Hmm.
You
Ah,
better go into your Swifty file.
I know. I'm trying to think. So something around, oh, it's going to sound so corny. I don't know. I feel very blessed at the moment. I really do. And you know me personally as well, and so you know, getting to this point wasn't always the smoothest road. So I think something there, and I really do try and at least once a week, if not daily, go, this is good, like it's not perfect, but I really do remind myself all the time, like I'm really lucky actually. We live in an amazing city, a beautiful son, another one on the way, and a great job. And I just kind of every now and again remind myself, like 15-year-old me should be pretty happy. I think you should be looking at this going, we did it. Okay, good.
Well, let me tell you, if I had to pick a song for the soundtrack of your life right now, it would be Alicia Keys' This Girl is on Fire.
that would sound great on the speakers, I have to say. Alicia Keys, and she's a customer. She loves us. So
Oh, even better, even better. Joe, thank you so much for joining me on She Means Business today. It's been great having you, and I wish you the best of luck with the centennial, and look
yes,
forward to new products coming out.
yes.
A
There's
lot
some
of
very
women are
exciting
gonna
stuff.
love.
There's some very exciting stuff in the pipeline. You wait and see. In a few months, there's some good stuff coming.
Superb. Thanks so much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Good to speak to you.